Hello, everyone, and welcome to Discover Joyous Love Mondays with Anita. And this is a broad topic, and within the Discover Joyous Love, I will be talking about the subjects of mindfulness, sexuality, and relationships, a hybrid of things within those topics. But today's topic is going to be about honesty and communication in a relationship, creating what we call the divine relationship. And how do you get to the divine relationship? One of the key things in relationships that make it work is communication. And that is one thing a lot of people lack. In the very beginning is when you should set the moment of what it is actually that you want in the relationship. And you should share things about yourself that you think maybe your partner would not like going further into the relationship with you. You should share all of the things about yourself, the things about yourself you don't like, the things about yourself you do like, maybe some of your challenges, not everything, because you want to have time to learn each other, but important things that would put a damper on the relationship once you get more involved in it. So it is important to share in the beginning. But what happens in relationships, I notice people meet each other, they jump into it, they have 5 great months of sex, something they could have done over a course of 10 years, and then the relationship has a falling out. Or they get so close, so connected without the communication that it has a falling out. And then what happens is it becomes painful and this is how we get hurt and we run from the higher power love, the transformative tantric love, that once you learn how to go beyond the physical, the spiritual takes over, and then we become one with ourselves and one with our partner, and lovemaking can continually be divine until the very end. But I'm going to share with you some tips and things about how and what in the real world compared to the spiritual world about relationships. So again, taking responsibility for your actions. What does that mean? Love is a responsibility. If you're going to love someone and open their heart, don't take advantage of it, but it happens every day. At least be there to support each other. In a relationship, you're to build each other rather than tear each other down. But what happens is love becomes so painful and so overwhelming that we want to tear each other down because we are afraid of the love that is inside of us. So what I'm asking you is to learn how to take responsibility as a mother would, or a father, to a child. You love them, and then you're not going to hate them halfway through their life. You're going to continue to love them until they grow up and they go out on their own, which is the normal way. So it's the same thing, applying the same principles to a lover. And even if it is a lover you don't think you want to be with forever, you still want to have a healthy relationship with someone, whether it is just for sex or just for companionship or just for traveling or whatever the relationship is for the moment, for you to grow into your spirit, for you to grow into your karma, for you to grow emotionally. In a relationship, there's one thing to keep in mind, that no one controls the relationship. It belongs to both of you. Communicating the faults and desires in the beginning. So getting back to that, what are your faults? What are your desires? What do you want? How do you see the relationship going? You want to dedicate your relationship. You want to dedicate your sexuality. So communicating what it is that you think your partner may not be able to handle once you get further down the line in the relationship. Maybe you have had a divorce and you want to, or maybe you have addictions or whatever it is that's in your past, in your shadow. It's good to share that in the beginning, to communicate that. What kind of relationship do you want? Do you want to be friends first, or do you want to jump into boyfriend and girlfriend? Now, how can that be? People just all of a sudden they're dating 1 month and they're calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. But that makes it exclusive then. If you're saying you're boyfriend and girlfriend, that makes it exclusive. But to make it exclusive, you've got to communicate those words that this is an exclusive relationship between you and I. Now, if you're going to call each other friends, that doesn't necessarily mean friends with benefits. You're just not ready to make a total commitment or a total exclusivity with that partner. So it is important to be friends first, and then as you go on to become boyfriend and girlfriend, and talking about the different stages of where the relationship is and where you see it going. When we have communication and honesty, relationships can go a long, long way. So, are you the type who jumps in? Again, keeping that in mind, it's impulsive. Coming from your instincts, what do you feel? Stay connected to the feeling, but have your boundaries. Don't overdo this, overwhelming. You met someone, you're head over heels. There are boundaries that still need to be in place, healthy ones, of course. Sometimes people get in a relationship. Now, for me, for example, I'm 1 in a million. I choose 1 in a million. Some people can choose 50 in a million. If this doesn't work, they're on to the next. But are you really ready for a relationship, or are you just desperate and needy and you don't want to be alone, or you need that body beside you, or you need sex, or you need closeness? So you have to look at why you're going into the relationship, or is it fulfilling some kind of emptiness inside? For me, I'm 1 in a million. I will only choose, I'm very choosy and selective and more or less old fashioned, because I don't believe that I need someone to have a body next to me, or I'm desperate or anxious or I'm lonely. And these are the things that can keep you emotionally unstable, we'll say, because if you don't heal from one relationship and you're going right into the next, it's going to just continually be patterns within your emotional state of loving someone, of any relationship. So the key is we want to break these patterns that we have, and we don't want to stay connected to the old pain. You want to clear and have clarity, but we want to work on ourselves so that we're not desperate just to have a body next to us or someone to sit with us and watch television at night because we feel lonely. That's not why you get into a relationship, folks. You get into a relationship because you want to build some part of your life and share some goodness with someone. So if you're going to go into a relationship because you're lonely, then the other person, you need to express why you're in the relationship, because this is where people get hurt. Again, dedicating the relationship, dedicating your sexuality. Are you ready for the relationship? Are you really ready for a relationship? Keeping in mind, relationships are only as good as the quality of your life. If you're holding grudges, getting back to that topic again, you may bring anger into the relationship, bitterness, hate, and all of this will take away from the love that you so desire. But something about love is that we really don't know what it is and we don't understand it. So it is a place of learning. And each and every relationship that we're in, we will continually learn about how to love ourselves if we give ourselves the space, the time, if we hold that container for the self, if we hold the space for the self-love. Becoming anxious, losing valuable and enriching connectedness with others. Again, this is what happens when you hold grudges. You become anxious, you lose the connection. The subconscious armor starts to trigger, and all of these patterns of pain start to creep into the relationship, and that is your shadow coming forth. Remember, happiness is a choice, folks. It is definitely a choice. Now, there's the 3 A's for a relationship: attention, affection, and appreciation. There's attention and intention. You get in a relationship, what is your intention? Are you giving enough attention to the partner? There's affection. Is there a balance of giving and receiving when it comes to affection and appreciation and understanding and respect? So what in Tantra Wisdom, my work, tantrawisdom.com, we work on balancing out giving and receiving, how you balance this out. Sometimes one person's more of a giver, one's more of a receiver. So these are the things we need to work on. to make the relationship divine. That's what we're after. Building self-integrity, building each other up, permissiveness in the relationship. When you build each other up rather than tear each other down, having that permissiveness with each other, that life force quality of permissiveness that allows you both to be who you are and express and become and allow yourself to walk into the sacred space and be who you are. Acceptance with each other. Asking yourself and your partner, if I could change something. These are some questions that I do with my love and relationship coaching Tantra wisdom clients. Creating a sacred space with the sacred bubble, the sacred space between the two of you, sitting across from each other on pillows. And one question that you could exchange with your partner is, if I could change something about myself or about the relationship, it would be. But the key here when you're doing this exercise is to listen with your whole body and not just let it go in one ear and out the other, and not to communicate back either, because sometimes your own words block what the other person is trying to say or getting across. So what you want to do is be able to receive what the person is saying and listening with the whole body. What I like about you, what I appreciate about you, what I need more of from you. What can we change? So these are the things you want to build in your sacred bubble. And you can sit across from each other and have this sacred bubble using the hands to come this way. How to show and express love is a whole nother topic. You know, it's not about sex, showing and expressing love. There's sexual expression, many ways you can have sexual expression without having sex. And sexual expression can be just being affectionate toward your partner, giving them that full attention. That's very orgasmic. So it depends on what you really need. How to show the love, touching your partner, paying attention to them, hearing them with your fullness. When they talk, get off the cell phone and listen, giving them that focus of attention. Focus is the key, folks. Clarity within the self allows your love to permeate and transform. So we need to have this clarity, and giving space to ourselves, giving space to our partner is how the clarity becomes present, how the silence opens up, and this silence within opens up. And there you have a newness. Giving and receiving again is something we'll work more on. What communication does, it strengthens the bond, and it improves your overall communication in life, not just in the relationship. And again, we're going to listen with the senses of the body, your senses. You have all these senses. And when your partner is talking, I want you to feel it throughout your body. I want you to feel everything vibrating, this higher vibration. And I want you to connect to that, to connect to those words in your cells so that you can have the divine relationship. I talk, you listen. You talk, I listen. This is communication etiquette, folks. Communication etiquette. People talk at each other. They don't hear each other because they're screaming and talking to each other, against each other. Support the conversation. It is so important to support the conversation. Honesty, again, will build trust and give you freedom. So remember, your truth is your freedom. And the more honest you are, the more free you can be. And the less anger that you will hold on, and that anger will live dormant in your body because your emotions are trying to fight against it all the time. It's like a push and pull, push and pull. Being communicative and honest teaches us great lessons, folks. It teaches us about patience. We can learn intuition this way, how to have a stronger intuitive base, how to enhance your perceptive skills, how to be more flexible in life, how to be more spontaneous. Honesty. See, when you're dishonest, it creates resistances. It causes resistances and limitations and blockages, because then you have to fight with yourself all the time. honesty is free. There's one thing I love about myself. I am so honest, and people always call me out on it, and they just don't understand why I'm so honest because I want to be. I wrote a book called Live Free. I have two books I wrote. One is Live Free, and the other one is the DonnaGentiliStory.com, and they're both available on Amazon, and you can go to my websites and find them. But the Live Free, one of the ways I taught myself to live free was being honest about everything. Such a good feeling, folks. Oh, let's take a breath on that one. Whoo, that higher power of honesty. I just love it. I hope you will join me on that path. There's no excuse to twist. Partners tend to twist the words around and the intention. We all may as well be criminal attorneys for that matter if we're going to twist sentences around. Remember, this is love. Love is not politics. Love is not hate. Love is not to be twisted. It has no limitations. It has a freedom and it has a choice. There's a choice there. There's always the choice. Couples regularly deceive each other. Keeping that in mind. They regularly deceive each other. Now, how to be more honest, I'll give you a few steps and then we'll be out of here. Steps and relationship rules. Take responsibility for your actions, for your emotions, for your partner's emotions. Now, look, I'm not going to say be responsible for every emotion that your partner has. They could be working out past things. They could have baggage and patterns from their childhood upbringing or their bullying in the school. But if you're going to get into the relationship and you're going to start loving that person and discussing how you love and care and whatever, even if you don't use those words, but you're showing that and you're spending time together, there's a certain responsibility there. I think it's criminal when someone doesn't take responsibility for having sex with you long term and being in the love. There should be communication if you want to get out of it, not hate or lying and having this push and pull and manipulation to throw your partner aside because you don't know how to talk. Look, if you want to learn to talk and communicate, give me a call because I will give you all the tips you need. But knowing yourself and accepting yourself first will give you that way of opening up to your own honesty to a partner. So again, it's about intentions. But once we know ourselves and accept ourselves, and we understand what we think and feel, so we have to understand what we think and feel about the world around us, our relationship to the world, our relationship to external organisms, our relationship to the environment, our relationship to just the planet, then we can have this sense of clarity to our partner and acceptance. And then we can open up and become what we call honest. We want the actions to match the words. Being direct is one key of learning how to start a conversation. Be direct, be right to the point. Accept the partner as a separate person. Now remember, when you get in this relationship, this connectedness, this entanglement, you still have to accept your partner as a separate person. And this is when you get in, that's why the communication and the honesty is important. Because once we get so entangled, it's hard to accept them as that separate individual. And that's who we all really are. We are really alone and we are really just individuals wanting to share love. And one of the most profound things that I find in love is holding a reverence and adoring, which reverence, having this high reverence, is an attitude of deep respect for your partner. And I'm going to leave you on that. Holding your partner in reverence, having a deep respect for your partner. Even if it doesn't last forever, even if that's not the intention, but it will be a training tool for you to meet your twin flame, your soulmate out there, because we have to learn and understand what it is about ourselves that are going to bring us to the higher power. Thank you for tuning in. Mondays with Anita. Discover joyous love. And you can find me on my website, anita.defrancesco.com, tantrawisdom.com. I also have a podcast called It's Your Voice, and that will air tomorrow on the same subject here today. And that's itsyourvoice.org, or you can go to tantrawisdom.com. But look me up. I'm there. I'm out to help you. I offer virtual and live in-person counseling. Thank you for tuning in.